So today we're going to talk about how to get a design interview without the BS. Let's get into it. First of all, what I want to talk about, my video is going to be a little bit different because, as you know, as a self-taught designer, you have to do things a little bit differently. So, you know, the regular interview process, you send in your resume, and then whoever reads your resume is most likely they're the screening person, they're the HR. There's someone that is giving your resume over to a decision maker later down the road. So most likely there's stages within an interview. There's most likely 3 or 4 where it goes, you send in your resume, then it goes to somebody that screens you, sees whether or not you're qualified, and then you'll get an interview with somebody that's a little bit more related to your role, someone that's like a coworker or an employee in that department or a coworker in design. And then you'll finally get up to the decision makers, the people that are actually hiring you, such as the director of that, director of design or creative director, someone that will actually be over you while you're working. As you know, I like to take shortcuts. I'm trying to bypass that first stage at all times. The HR person, I don't want to talk to them because they are, one, they're not the decision maker, and 2, sometimes they're not really they don't know anything about design. So I want to spend the time most with the person that is going to be hiring me. That makes sense, right? So how do we do this? I have a video that explains the whole technical process of how I do this, so I'll go ahead and put that down in the description. By the way, guys, if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Brandon Gross. I'm a self-taught designer, and this channel is all about being the best designer you can be, building a brand, and getting paid like you should. So if you haven't already, definitely subscribe and like this video because you're gonna learn something today. So with that said, how do we get to the actual decision maker? How do we actually get to the director of your department, you know, whatever, of design, like the decision maker? So first of all, if you haven't, watch that video down in the description and then come back. That's how we're gonna be talking about this. So how to win at your interview. You win the interview before you get to the interview. Any interview that I've ever gone to, or any interview that I've done well at, I've done massive massive investigation work. So I make sure that first I'll outline who the decision makers are, who I'll be working with, who are the top guys or gals that I'll be working under, that will be deciding whether to hire me or not. And then I'll list those people out on paper. And then I'll go out on the internet, learn as much as I can about their history, what they've done, and what they're doing at the company that I'm being interviewed at. And I'll write all that history down. So 1, I'm learning as much as possible about the specific people that will be interviewing me at the final stage, but I want that to be my first stage. And I'll talk about why I'm doing this in the first place. When I gather all this information, it does many things for me. I'm gonna know the people that I'm going to be in the room with, which is very good. It allows me to be more personable. I know things about them. They'll find things out about me, but really what this interview game is how well of a person can you be? How well do you know the people in the room? How well can you show that you know how to be personable, know things about other people, and not just think that this interview is about you? You're like, hey, you know, it's be a pleasure to be in the same room with you because I know your history, you do that, this, and the other. Not only do you make them feel good, they see that you've done your due diligence and done your research about, you know, who you're in the room with. That looks good in multiple ways. And another reason why you want to go digging around the decision makers is because this is how you're going to skip going through the screening process. So when you find out who the top or the decision makers in your department are, I want you to dig around on the internet or use the technique that I did in that video to find this person's email and just shoot them an email, and just with what we found out about this person, personally, their track record, whatever, just purely state your reasoning for wanting to work at the company that you're looking at, and just saying you're interested in the position, and not only that, what you can bring to the table. Basically just, you know, putting yourself out there to the person that will actually be the decision maker of hiring you. Let's say John. John is the person that will be eventually being the person that hires me. I don't know why I just did this. Hires me after all the screening process. I want to skip all the screening process and everything, so I'm just going to email John and say, hey John, you know, I really admire the type of work that you've done, and I followed your your career and your history, and I really like this one project that you did this, and you know what, it would be amazing to work with you. My name is Brandon Gross. I've worked on X, Y, and Z projects. Here's my portfolio, and it would be really awesome to work at the company you're working at, John. Let me know if this is of interest to you. It'd be amazing to work with people like yourself. And then that's it. Short, simple, put your work there, say it would be great to talk to you, let me know if we can work something out. If you just make a great connection in that first email, something that's human, and then attach your work to it, and then just be personable and have good work, that is how you get jobs. And this is just the front end of the job. Okay, this is how we get into the room without having to do all these sequential things. So this is really what this video is about. This is how we get into the interviewing room without the BS. So this is going to be a series of just how to kill it in your design interview. So this is one. So I'm going to end it here. We're going to have two more. We're going to have design questions and also how to prep for your design interview. So those are the other videos that I'm going to have. So definitely take a look at them. I will be posting them within the next couple weeks, and I will put them all in a playlist so you guys can see like how to get into the room for an interview, how to prep for an interview, and how to prep for the questions to expect from the interview, and also questions to ask yourself at an interview. So we'll talk about those in other videos, guys. All right, be Gross, self-taught designer, out.